We are live from the Crypto.com arena in Los Angeles, California, the city of dreams. And tonight, just 24 hours removed from WrestleMania 41, this city has never felt more alive. And it was 2 nights of WrestleMania that rewrote the entire landscape of professional wrestling. Championships changed hands, alliances were forged, broken, and reborn. And tonight, there is no room to breathe for these superstars because it is the Raw after WrestleMania. Later to come tonight, the new World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre is set to let us know every detail of how he got to the top of the mountain. This is not a man who just won a title. This is a man who has waited his entire career for this moment, and now that it's here, Drew McIntyre, the World Heavyweight Champion, is in Los Angeles. Plus, Chad Gable, Sheamus, go at it for a #1 contenders tournament kickoff for the Intercontinental Championship. This match right here carries more weight than a first round tournament match typically would. The first time Chad Gable and Sheamus stepped into a ring together on Monday Night Raw, it was one of the most competitive and brutally physical matches anyone in that building had ever seen. That kind of match that stays with you. And here we are, back at it tonight. The winner advances one step closer to Ludwig Kaiser in the Intercontinental Championship at Backlash. For both men, this is personal well beyond any tournament bracket. Later tonight, Io Sky, Maxine Dupree, and Becky Lynch all go together for a #1 contenders triple threat match. 3 women, 1 opportunity at the Women's Intercontinental Championship #1 contendership. The aerial assassin Io Sky, one of the most gifted pure wrestlers on this roster. Maxine Dupree, who belongs in this match full stop. And Becky Lynch, the man, who doesn't need any introduction, only a championship opportunity. One of these 3 women is going to Backlash to face Stephanie Vaquer, and I can't wait to find out which one it is. And there it is. The new World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre.
Making his way to the ring from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 285 pounds, the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
He walked into WrestleMania 41, carrying every expectation, every doubt, every year of near misses on his back, and this time he delivered. You have to understand what Gunther represented as a mountain to climb. The ring general had defined the World Heavyweight Championship for as long as most people can remember. Dominant, methodical, genuinely difficult to beat on his worst day. And Drew McIntyre, a Scottish warrior, went in there and matched him blow for blow, grit for grit, and at the end of the match, it was Drew's championship to hold high. And look at the Crypto.com arena here in Los Angeles standing on their feet. An ovation for the new World Heavyweight Champion. 12 months of climbing, grinding, getting knocked down, and getting back up brought him to WrestleMania, and one match redefined his entire career. Let's hear what the champ has to say.
I've been asked what it feels like. I've been asked, what does it feel like? to finally hold the World Heavyweight Championship. I'll tell you what it feels like. It feels like every door that was ever slammed in my face was worth it. Every single one, every loss I had to claw back from, every person who looked at me and said, Drew, maybe it's not your time. It all led right here. The ring general held that championship like his life depended on it. Dominant, unstoppable, the greatest in history, some said, until I proved to every single one of them wrong. Gunther, you were the best I have ever faced in that ring. Make absolutely no mistake. But at WrestleMania, the Scottish Warrior was better. This title goes everywhere I go now. This title lives with me. And anyone who wants to come and try to take it from me, you already know where I'll be. Come find me.
Oh my God, it's Bron Breakker, Mr. Money in the Bank.
And his opponent, representing the Vision from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 250 pounds, Bron Breakker.
And this man has to now be considered the most dangerous man on Monday Night Raw as long as he holds that Money in the Bank contract.
Enjoy it, Drew.
Seriously, I mean it. Soak it all in. Take a picture. Frame it. Because I could have cashed this in at WrestleMania. I could have waited till you were flat on your back after Gunther, and I could have taken that title right from under you. But I didn't.
I didn't.
Because honestly, I felt a little sorry for you. Drew McIntyre finally won his first big championship. I thought, let the man have his moment. But here's the thing, Drew. WrestleMania is done. The grace period is over. And Bron Breakker is done being generous. You can hold that championship as tight as you want. You can celebrate as loud as you want. You can look over your shoulder every single week. Because the second I decide it's time, it's over for you. The era of the unpredictable badass, it starts now. Watch your back, champ.
I'm not scared of the unpredictable badass.
And now, Drew, just after winning that championship last night, has to spend his title reign looking over his shoulder.
Adam, I need a minute. I need a minute here. WrestleMania just happened, the biggest event of this year. Every superstar on this roster had a spot on that card. Every superstar except me. Do you understand what that feels like? I've been on this roster for years. I know what I'm capable of. I have been in this ring with Roman Reigns, with the absolute best in the world. I was the Intercontinental Champion, Adam. Not that long ago, I was holding one of the most prestigious titles in this company, and I earned that. Every single day I came to this building and I gave everything I had. I deserve to be on that WrestleMania card, and you know it. So I am asking you, man to man, I need you to make this right. I need a match tonight. Give me a chance to remind everyone in that building and everyone watching at home that Sami Zayn is not someone you overlook.
Sammy, I hear you. And you're right. You should have had a match at WrestleMania. That's on me, and I'm sorry. But here's the thing about this company, Sammy. The only way back into that picture is to get in that ring and remind people who you are. Talk is talk. What you do in that ring is what matters. So if you want to prove yourself, I've got an opponent for you tonight, right here in Los Angeles.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by Paul Heyman from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 286 pounds, Brock Lesnar!
And here is a man walking down that ramp. Look at the aura of the beast incarnate. He doesn't need anything. No championship by his side, but he's got the advocate, Paul Heyman. The atomic weight of the atmosphere shifts when Brock Lesnar walks through the room. WrestleMania 41 Night 1. Brock Lesnar answered his own open challenge and absolutely destroyed Ilya Dragunov. And we're about to find out the aftermath of the Brock Lesnar open challenge. I have a feeling.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul, and it is my distinct honor, my incredible privilege, my absolute pleasure to introduce to each and every one of you here in Los Angeles and to each and every person watching around the world, standing right here behind me, my client, the reigning, the defending, the undisputed conqueror of the Open Challenge, Brock Lesnar. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You watched WrestleMania. You saw Ilya Dragunov answer my client's open challenge. And some of you, some very optimistic, very naive people, thought to yourself, maybe this time, maybe this is the one. Let me tell you how that went. Ilya Dragunov is a warrior. I will not take that away from him. He is a tough, resilient, hard-nosed competitor who walked into that match and gave every single ounce of what he had. And my client dismantled him piece by piece, because that is what Brock Lesnar does. He doesn't just beat people. He doesn't just win matches. He makes examples. And let me be crystal clear about something. If my client had issued that open challenge and literally anyone else on this roster had walked through that curtain, the result would have been exactly the same. So please, I am begging you, send someone out here. Anyone, send the whole roster.
And look who it is. This man just lost his championship less than 48 hours ago.
Weighing in at 250 pounds, Gunther!
But it looks like he wants to defend the sanctity of this ring. He wants to defend his brother Ilya Dragunov. He's shifting his sights to Brock Lesnar. What a title reign it was for the Ring General. Lasting nearly 6 months.
Brock, I'm gonna make this short and sweet. In 4 weeks, Backlash, you wanna make an example out of Ilya. I'm going to make an example out of you. In an I Quit match.
And look at this! Brock Lesnar unleashing into the Ring General. And Gunther not letting it go unanswered as he turns to Brock Lesnar with a series of chops, and now he's taunting the WWE Universe, who appears to be on Brock's side. Suplex from the Beast Incarnate. And that was exactly what Ilya Dragunov faced just 24 hours ago. And now the Ring General is having to face the music himself with another suplex. The Ring General getting a taste of his own medicine here, as he finally has an opponent worthy of the size and the strength of the Ring General. Gunther, clothesline to the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And Gunther climbing to the top rope, thinking of doing something here. Not able to connect as Brock Lesnar gets out of the way, and another massive suplex from the Beast Incarnate. And now he's unleashing into the Ring General. And now Gunther lifts Brock Lesnar up on his shoulders and sends him right into the ring ropes. But the Beast Incarnate is able to get himself right back up on his feet. These two are headed for quite the match at Backlash, as we heard earlier. An I Quit match. An unbelievable showing here. Brock Lesnar was going for the F5, but Gunther able to move out of the way. And a taste of his own medicine there yet again for Gunther, as a series of power bombs from Brock Lesnar. And now using some of the combat fighting skills of the Ring General. And a drop kick there from Gunther. And the signature move from Gunther, that chop, does so much damage for the chest of their opponent. And this is not even a sanctioned match. These two, if I have to remind you, are just going at it for no good reason. And it is just 4 weeks from now, at Backlash in St. Louis, Missouri, that these two will go toe-to-toe in an I Quit match. And a huge drop kick there from the Ring General, as these two are now outside of the ring, taking this brawl chaotic. Just as I say that though, you know Gunther, the sanctity of that ring, it's all about keeping things within the ropes. And here comes a massive powerbomb from Gunther. Perhaps showing that this could be the test that Brock Lesnar was looking for when he initially gave that WrestleMania Open Challenge. It's a shame that Gunther couldn't answer that one, as he was tied up in his own championship match. Brock standing tall.
WrestleMania is over, Champions were made. Moments were carved into history. But in WWE, no grudge stays settled for long. WrestleMania is barely over, and already the fallout has begun. This April, WWE comes back to St. Louis, Missouri. New questions, new rivalries. One night to answer all of them. This is The Backlash.
And welcome back to Monday Night Raw. And Sami Zayn is gonna find out what he is in for.
Weighing in at 212 pounds, Sami Zayn.
He went to Adam Pearce. And declared this match for himself tonight. It is up to Sami Zayn to prove himself, whether he was worthy of being on that WrestleMania card. A year ago, he was Intercontinental Champion, taking down Gunther. But tonight, he's taking on a man of General Manager Adam Pearce's choosing. Let's find out who it is. Oh man, it's somebody making their Monday Night Raw debut. Former NXT champion, the man of the hour, Trick Williams. The strut and absolute confidence from this young man does not look like someone making his debut. He looks like someone who's been doing this his entire life. From NXT to the main roster, and the reception he's getting here in Los Angeles is immediate. This city knows the charisma, and Trick Williams has that in abundance. Speed, athleticism, a connection with the crowd that most people spend years developing. Trick Williams arrived with it factory installed. And here we go. Trick Williams, Sami Zayn, main roster debut, and a veteran with something to prove. It doesn't get more compelling than this. Here we are. Bell has sounded. Couple of chops there from Trick Williams. Sami Zayn with the veteran moves there. Locking up Trick Williams. Twisting his arm in ways that Trick might have never seen before. Trying to grind the rookie, Trick Williams. And finally, Trick able to counter that and get into some own offense of his own. And there it is, massive leg drop there onto Sami Zayn, but Sami able to quickly find his way back into the ring. Trick Williams stalking Sami Zayn, and it tries to connect, but not able to there onto Sami Zayn, as he has now turned the tides onto his side. Able to hit some maneuvers onto Trick Williams, and now in the turnbuckle goes Trick Williams as Sami Zayn looking to prove himself, but Trick is out of the gate moving here in his debut on Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn with a huge slam there. And Sami needs this win here tonight more than anything. He's staring across at someone who needs this more than him, as this is his first ever match on Monday Night Raw. And you don't come here to debut on Monday Night Raw to be a main eventer with that confidence and that swagger that Trick Williams has. Just like that, as Sami Zayn gets sent into the ropes and Trick Williams going for the cover. Kick out by Sami Zayn. You don't have that swagger and come to Monday Night Raw just to lose. No, you came here to win. As Trick Williams now has momentum and control over the matchup and is looking to take this victory over Sami Zayn. But just as you say that, Sami Zayn turns the ties in a cover of his own here onto Trick Williams, who looks knocked out cold. But just as we say that, a kick out at one by Trick Williams. And what a showing Trick had in NXT. But you have to go through the veteran leadership, the locker room presence of Sami Zayn tonight for your first match on Monday Night Raw. Hell of a kick. And a kick out. Somehow he survived the Helluva Kick. Trick Williams, what a showing here on his debut on Monday Night Raw. The Raw after WrestleMania. It doesn't get any better than this. Sami Zayn on the top rope, waiting for Trick to get up. Going for a Hurricane Rana there, and connects onto Williams. Trick able to get his wits about himself and turn the tides for himself. Trick now looking for his move. Trick Williams with a scissor cut leg drop. Beautiful move there. Perhaps trying to weasel his way to the top of Monday Night Raw as he takes the turnbuckle off of the ring post. And the ref, of course, saw that it was right directly in front of his face, but that wasn't his strategy there. It was to distract the referee so that he could do this. Beautiful move there from Trick Williams. Not done yet with Sami Zayn. Gonna try to do some more work. And these two now going blow for blow, as this has been an absolutely chaotic matchup to kick off Monday Night Raw, the Raw after WrestleMania. The most anticipated night in sports entertainment. A night of debuts, and this night doesn't get any different, as this is Trick Williams' debut. And Trick Willie with a huge knockout punch there onto Sami Zayn. Is that enough? No, kick out there at 2 by Sami Zayn. That veteran presence still keeping him alive in this matchup, as he's been through so much, but could that be all that's needed from Trick Willie? Yes, it is. Thank you for coming, Sami Zayn. And you know, that showing there tonight, I think you were worthy of a WrestleMania match, but unfortunately, it was the debut of Trick Williams, former NXT champion, that prevailed in his first showing on Monday Night Raw.
Here is your winner, Trick Williams.
And what a way to introduce yourself to the Monday Night Raw roster. And Sami Zayn, that man has to be wondering when his season actually begins.
Can't get enough universe mode? If you are loving the chaos, the drama, and the destruction, you need to lock in. Smash that subscribe button. Don't miss a single suplex, a single betrayal, or a single championship victory. The road to the next premium live event starts here. Witness the Red Brain Takeover.
And it is time to celebrate, because Mommy is back on top.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making her way to the ring from Adelaide, Australia, the WWE Women's World Champion, Rhea Ripley.
And look at this reaction here in the Crypto.com arena. Rhea Ripley walks out with that Women's World Championship like it was always hers. Because for Rhea, it kind of always was. She never stopped being the standard. She was just temporarily separated from the gold by Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley defeated Morgan at WrestleMania 41 Night 2 to reclaim that Women's World Championship. And the result should surprise absolutely nobody who's been paying attention, because Rhea Ripley, at full strength, on the grandest stage, is in a tier of her own, and she proved it once again at WrestleMania. Rhea stands at the top and just absorbs every single second of this moment as the Women's World Champion yet again.
Los Angeles. Look at this, your Women's World Champion. Back where she belongs. I told every single one of you, I told Liv Morgan to her face, that Rhea Bloody Ripley cannot be stopped. Not for long. You can knock me down, you can take what's mine for a little while, but I always come back, and I always come back harder. At WrestleMania, Liv Morgan pushed me to my limit, and it still wasn't enough, because I am Mommy, and there is not a woman on this planet, not on this roster, not anywhere, who can take this title from me when I am at my best. So let me be very clear to whoever is sitting in the back thinking about coming for this championship, think very carefully, because I am not giving this up. Not tonight, not at Backlash, not ever.
What is this? Could this be Liv Morgan coming for retribution? It sounds like Finn Balor's music, though.
Accompanied by J.D. McDonough, representing the Judgment Day. From Bray, County Wicklow, Ireland, weighing in at 190 pounds, Finn Balor.
And at least for the time being, it looks like Finn Balor is only joined by his protege, J.D. McDonough, as he comes to the ring to take on Rhea Ripley? This doesn't make much sense to me.
Rhea, congratulations. I mean that sincerely. What you did at WrestleMania, what you've done throughout your entire career, it's something I have the utmost respect for. You are one of the best to ever set foot in a WWE ring, and I need to apologize on behalf of the Judgment Day. But standing here tonight, watching you hold that championship, I've been doing a lot of thinking about myself, about where I'm at, about what I've let pass me by. I've been comfortable for too long. I've settled for almost. I've let opportunities slip through my hands and told myself there would be another one. And there always was, but I never took it. Not the way you would, not the way you do. So I've made a decision. I need to be more like you, Rhea. And I'm going to start right now, because I am coming for the World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre, enjoy your moment. Enjoy every second of it, because I am coming for that title. And everyone in this building, and everyone watching at home, they know that when Finn Balor decides he wants something, he gets it.
You better watch your back, Finn. I have no love for you or Dom or anyone in the Judgment Day.
Oh, a clear message from the new Women's World Champion.
WrestleMania is over. Champions were made. Moments were carved into history. But in WWE, no grudge stays settled for long. WrestleMania is barely over, and already the fallout has begun. This April, WWE comes back to St. Louis, Missouri. New questions, new rivalries. One night to answer all of them. This is the Backlash.
Making his way to the ring, representing American-made from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing in at 202 pounds, Chad Gable.
And as we come back here on Monday Night Raw, only 24 hours after WrestleMania, the Intercontinental Championship Tournament is officially underway. And Ludwig Kaiser, wherever he is watching tonight, already knows the names in this bracket. The Ring General may have lost the World Heavyweight Championship, but Kaiser walked out of WrestleMania Night 1 as the Intercontinental Champion. And his path through Backlash starts with whatever this tournament produces tonight. We've got a great matchup here. First round, Chad Gable, Sheamus, and I need to take a moment here, because if you watched the very first time these two men shared a ring on Monday Night Raw, you know exactly what this match is. They have been in the ring together before. The history is real, and it shapes every single thing that happens tonight. The Celtic Warrior is here! The Brawling Brute, the man who has always thought exactly what you'd expect from him, and nothing less.
Weighing in at 267 pounds, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus.
Sheamus and Gable have a history that sets the table for tonight. There is a familiarity between these two, and familiarity in professional wrestling is a double-edged sword. You know what your opponent can do, but they know you just as well. Sheamus slides into the ring. He pounds his chest and takes on the crowd of Los Angeles here tonight for a massive Intercontinental contender tournament matchup. And they go, no feeling each other out, as Sheamus immediately goes for Chad Gable. But Gable, with this history that they have, goes for a cover and is not able to do, as Sheamus finds his way into a headlock on Chad Gable. But these two just know each other too well. They're able to slip and slide around each other and work their way around the ring. As Gable going for yet another cover here, trying to move on to that tournament very quickly. Wants to move on from this rivalry with Sheamus. But the Brawling Brute has other plans, and yet another cover from Gable. And it was a few weeks ago, only before WrestleMania, that Chad Gable was in an opportunity to become the #1 contender for the Intercontinental Championship. He had that match against Karrion Kross and ultimately defeated him. Ultimately was defeated by Karrion Kross, excuse me. And that led to that match that we saw with Ludwig Kaiser. And Ludwig Kaiser, of course, shocked the world, defeating Big Bronson Reed and taking down that Intercontinental Championship. Night 1 of WrestleMania. Almost unbelievable that Bronson Reed only held that Intercontinental title for about a month. Between the Elimination Chamber and WrestleMania is a huge move there from Gable, as he wants to set his sights on Ludwig Kaiser. Massive dropkick from the top rope there by Ludwig Kaiser, and Ivy Nile trying to sneak against the referee, as the referee hasn't noticed that there is no turnbuckle on that ring post. And the Brawling Brute Sheamus finds himself back in this matchup, as he's now going to climb the top rope and stalk Chad Gable, waiting for him to get up, thinking about a move here. Flying move there, but Chad Gable caught him in midair. What strength from the former Olympic wrestler, just like his mentor, Kurt Angle. And now you see the warrior attitude of Sheamus coming through in this blow for blow here between these two fighters. Sheamus finally able to get the better of Chad Gable, as he now tries to work the upper arm of Chad Gable, a man who has not reached singles gold yet in his career. And Sheamus a bit distracted here by the shenanigans of American-made Chad Gable, of course the leader of this faction. They say they're successful, they say they're American-made, but if you ask me, frankly, they're losers. As the Brawling Brute Sheamus is taking the fight to Chad Gable, but Gable able to counter it just quick as that. You gotta give it to Chad Gable, as he, as the leader, is probably the only member of this faction that has anything to show for it. And a great move there on to Sheamus. A cover now from Gable. Kick out at 2 from the Brawling Brute. He remains alive. And immediately going for another cover is Chad Gable, trying to weasel his way out of this matchup. Gable now signaling that he is ready to move on in this #1 contenders tournament. He wants to finish Sheamus going for an ankle lock. But not able to do it. Sheamus is able to quickly wiggle his way out of that one. And Chad Gable trying to wear down the Brawling Brute, the Celtic Warrior. And he gets sent outside of the ring. He's ringside now as Chad Gable tries to take a breath. But he's in complete control here tonight in Los Angeles, and a huge moonsault there by Gable. What a move! What a move by Gable! It's the unrelenting will of Chad Gable that is keeping him in this matchup as the Brawling Brute comes back into it just like that with a massive slam. And is somebody going to get counted out here? Chad Gable knocked out cold on the mat. This could be Sheamus's time right here to move on in the Intercontinental Tournament, but Gable able to wiggle his way back into the ring, and a huge, massive move there onto Sheamus, potentially finishing up the Brawling Brute. Going for the ankle lock this time. He has it locked in. Is Sheamus gonna tap out right here, right now? And somewhat cocky there, Gable releases the ankle lock, and a huge elbow drop there from Chad Gable, showing his power and control over the Celtic Warrior here tonight. Absolutely deserving of advancing in this Intercontinental Tournament. Trying to wear down the Celtic Warrior now. But Sheamus back up on his feet and a big boot to the head of Chad Gable. Is that going to do it right there? A cover. But wait, the referee distracted by American Made. This is bull crap. Unbelievable. Sheamus had the match won. But even still, he's going to power through it. Gable trying to use this opportunity, the second lifeline, and a huge move there by Chad Gable. Now going for a cover this time. Of course, the referee going for the full count, but Sheamus still unrelenting, still in this matchup somehow. This is unbelievable between these two, an absolute banger. As both superstars now trying to take a breath, trying to gain a last wind here. Sheamus going after Chad Gable now, and a cover here from the Brawling Brute. And that was just too much, overwhelming for Chad Gable. He couldn't handle it anymore. Gable had complete control that entire match, but he just lost all energy and became completely exhausted by the end of it. And Sheamus, the Celtic Warrior that he is, outlasted and is now advancing in this Intercontinental #1 Contender Tournament.
WrestleMania is over. Champions were made. Moments were carved into history. But in WWE, no grudge stays settled for long. WrestleMania is barely over, and already the fallout has begun. This April, WWE comes back to St. Louis, Missouri. New questions, new rivalries. One night to answer all of them. This is The Backlash.
And welcome back to Monday Night Raw for our main event here tonight. Only a few weeks after we found out Stephanie Vaquer conquered the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka, the title picture for the Women's Intercontinental Championship gets settled.
Making her way to the ring from Dublin, Ireland,
And Stephanie Vaquer will defend that Intercontinental title at Backlash in St. Louis. One of these three women here tonight are going to enter this ring and going to leave tonight with the opportunity at a title shot against Stephanie Vaquer. Let's take a moment to appreciate each and one of these competitors before a single bell has rung. And this Los Angeles crowd absolutely loves Io Sky.
from Tokyo, Japan, Io
They know what they're about to see. Io Sky is one of the most gifted, pure in-ring competitors on this roster, full stop. The aerial arsenal, the technical precision, the ring awareness that makes every opponent look like they are perpetually one step behind. This woman is built for a match like this. The ability to go from zero to absolutely devastating in the span of a single breath. Io Sky has tools in this ring that neither of her opponents can fully reciprocate. She is a woman who makes the skyline look effortless and the Dragon Sleeper look inevitable. And it sounds like the Los Angeles crowd is behind Maxine Dupree.
Phoenix, Arizona, Maxine Dupree.
Maxine has worked for every single thing she has in this business. She didn't come in with years of wrestling experience. She came in with cheerleading experience at the professional NFL level. She came in with a relentless work ethic. And the determination to belong. And she has earned that belonging here tonight in this triple threat #1 contenders match for the Women's Intercontinental title. Which one of these three women is going to walk away with a opportunity against Stephanie Vaquer? Only time will tell. And things get kicked off here for the main event in the Crypto.com arena. Another sold-out show here for the WWE is Becky Lynch taking the fight to both women. Here to start the matchup, Io Sky now trying to perhaps take advantage of the inexperience of Maxine Dupree. Trying to perhaps not set her sights on Becky Lynch just yet, but Becky Not gonna let that happen. And Io Sky absolutely taunting both of these competitors here tonight. And Io Sky, a former women's world champion, a former WWE champion, now perhaps going for a shot at the Intercontinental title, trying to make her one step closer to a Grand Slam title holder. We could say the same for Becky Lynch, as she's held so many titles in her own right. Ooh, Io Sky had a kendo stick there, but a whiff onto Becky Lynch as she was trying to go for a cover on Maxine Dupree. Oh, trying to go for an aerial move there, Io Sky, but Becky Lynch just sends her right out of the ring. And now that there's a kendo stick in the equation, Becky Lynch is absolutely gonna use it as she climbs to the top rope now and goes for a leg drop onto Maxine Dupree. Huge drop kick there by Io Sky. And just like that, Io Sky tries to deal with Becky Lynch by tossing her off to ringside right in front of our announce desk here on Monday Night Raw. Capacity crowd in the Crypto Arena. And a splash there by Becky Lynch. Sorry, onto Becky Lynch as Maxine Dupree is now trying to get back into the action. Perhaps trying to seize this opportunity for the Intercontinental Championship. And what is this? Io Sky up on the barricade. This is absolutely bananas. Not able to connect though onto Maxine Dupree as a steel chair. When did Becky Lynch get a steel chair? Knocks both women out. And this is now Becky Lynch's match to lose. She's trying to seal the deal, climbing to the top rope and an elbow drop onto Io Sky. Unbelievable what we just saw from Becky Lynch. Maxine Dupree perhaps looking to take advantage of the situation and doing even more damage to Io Sky. And now Maxine Dupree, Becky Lynch going at it. And all three of these women have an equal opportunity here to take on Stephanie Vaquer at Backlash. Who is it going to be? Io Sky thinks she's going to be the one to walk away. And a massive drop kick there from Io Sky onto Becky Lynch. As Maxine Dupree knocked out completely cold here ringside. But Becky Lynch trying to finish off one of her opponents. And what is this? A baseball bat. Io Sky trying to knock that out of the equation. As a cover onto Becky Lynch, not able to do. She's able to wiggle out of that one very quickly. And another cover now from Io Sky. Kick out. Drop kick onto Maxine Dupree as soon as she comes back into the ring. And now Becky Lynch with a submission move on Io Sky. But just like that, she's able to get out of it. Trying to go for another drop kick, that move that has done so well for her tonight. As the chaos has now entered into the confines of the squared circle. Maxine Dupree thinks this is her moment. And she thought too soon, because just like that, Becky Lynch is moving on to face Stephanie Valquer in St. Louis. She's going on for an opportunity at the Intercontinental title.
Can't get enough universe mode? If you are loving the chaos, the drama, and the destruction, you need to lock in. Smash that subscribe button. Don't miss a single suplex, a single betrayal, or a single championship victory. The road to the next premium live event starts here. Witness the Red Brain Takeover.
And a little cherry on top for Los Angeles here tonight, as we didn't expect to have an appearance from the man who just 24 hours ago conquered everything in his path. Roman Reigns. The OTC took down Solo Sikoa to become the head of the table yet again, and now is the undisputed champion once more.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Pensacola, Florida, weighing in at 265 pounds, the undisputed WWE Champion, the OTC, Roman Reigns!
And what a showing it was last night in that triple threat match between the final boss and the American Nightmare, as he finally overcame all of his demons and settled the scores for the Bloodline, took down the overarching power of the TKO board in the final boss, took away the story from Cody Rhodes. You gotta wonder where that's going to lead. For now, it's all basking in the celebration of the new, yet again, undisputed WWE Champion, Roman Reigns. It was only a year ago that his record-breaking streak came to an end. Is this title reign going to last nearly as long? Need to watch out for Bron Breakker too. You know, he set his sights on Drew McIntyre pretty clearly earlier tonight. But as Roman Reigns seeks for the WWE Universe to acknowledge him yet again as the head of the table, that Money in the Bank holder, Bron Breakker, could be lurking in the wings trying to go for that WWE Championship. Could be a strategy. But you can tell that Roman is prepared because he's got the security of his brothers, the Usos. Jay and Jimmy Uso back together yet again. Basking in the glory of the Tribal Chief and the WWE Champion.
Los Angeles, acknowledge me. It has been a very long road to get back to the man holding the title over his shoulder like I am now. A very, very long road. At WrestleMania, I stood across the ring from the final boss, my own blood, a man I used to love, a man I used to respect. I took down Solo Sikoa, the man who tried to take everything from me, everything I had built for my family, everything I had earned, my name, my kingdom, my legacy. People asked me, are you sure you can do this? Can you really beat The Rock and everything he brings with him? Not only that, but add into the mix the undisputed WWE champion Cody Rhodes. And not only that, add on 24 hours before that, taking back my Ula Fala, taking back my legacy. I told all of the doubters, I always knew I would be standing just as I am now, because I am not just Roman Reigns. I am the original tribal chief. I am the head of the table, and that doesn't change. That will never change. And to all of you, to the WWE Universe, you never stopped, even when I was gone. Even when Solo had taken my name and my family, you never stopped chanting my name. So I want to say something I don't say nearly enough. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, truly. Now the bloodline is restored. The right man is at the head of the table. And the era of the original tribal chief has only just begun.
Uh-oh. One of The Rock's minions, former tag team champion, Jacob Fatu, is trying to reign on the parade of Roman Reigns. What does the Samoan werewolf have to say?
Sacramento, California, weighing in at 285 pounds, the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu.
Roman Reigns, I'ma keep it 100 with you. I've done things I ain't proud of. I followed a shell of a man who used my family's name and my family's tradition for himself. I let myself be used. I let myself be turned into something I ain't. I'm a Samoan, and I know what that means. Yada I mean. I know who carries that legacy. I know who the real tribal chief is. I acknowledge you. Welcome to the bloodline, Jacob.
And wow, the bloodline is back. Jacob Fatu has just spurned the final boss.